On this day in history, we remember the remarkable individuals who shaped our world. Welcome to Who Died Today in History, where we honor their legacies. From artists to leaders, their impact lives on. If you find their stories meaningful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay connected. Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, one of the most beloved figures in British royal history, passed away peacefully on March 30th, 2002, at the age of 101. Her death was attributed to natural causes, a reflection of her remarkable longevity and resilience. Having been an enduring symbol of duty and grace through some of the most turbulent periods of the 20th century, her passing marked the end of an era for Britain and the monarchy. Born Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, she became Queen Consort upon the unexpected ascension of her husband, King George VI. In 1936, after the abdication crisis of Edward VIII, during World War II, she won the admiration of the British people by refusing to flee London during the Blitz, famously declaring that she would not leave without the king. This steadfastness made her a symbol of national unity and strength, earning her the affectionate title of the Queen Mother after her husband's passing in 1952. Her death came at a time when the British royal family was already in a period of transition. Just weeks earlier, her daughter, Princess Margaret, had also passed away, adding to the somber mood of the nation. As the last surviving Empress of India and a living link to the monarchy of the early 20th century, her passing signified the closing of a chapter in British history. The immediate consequences of her death were marked by an outpouring of public grief and a grand state funeral at Westminster Abbey, attended by world leaders and watched by millions. The Queen Mother's legacy remains deeply ingrained in British culture. Her influence on the monarchy was profound. She played a crucial role in shaping its modern image, emphasizing public service, duty, and accessibility. Her death reinforced the idea of the monarchy as an institution that must continuously evolve while remaining a symbol of stability. In reflecting on her passing, we see a broader theme of how society venerates figures who embody endurance, tradition, and grace under pressure. The Queen Mother has been immortalized in statues, biographies, and historical documentaries, ensuring her legacy endures. Her life and death serve as a reminder that while individuals pass, the institutions and values they uphold can persist, shaped by their example. Casey Benjamin, an influential American saxophonist, keyboardist, and vocalist, passed away suddenly on March 30th, 2024, at the age of 45 due to a pulmonary thromboembolism, a blood clot, while recovering from surgery. His untimely death sent ripples through the music community, highlighting both the fragility of life and the profound impact of his artistic contributions. Born on October 10, 1978 in South Jamaica, Queens, New York, Benjamin's musical journey began early. He picked up the saxophone at 8 years old and honed his craft at the prestigious Fiorello H. LaGuardia High School of Music and Art and Performing Arts. His passion led him to the New School for Jazz and Contemporary Music in Manhattan, where he met pianist Robert Glasper, marking the beginning of a significant collaboration. As a founding member of the Robert Glasper Experiment, Benjamin played a pivotal role in blending jazz with elements of hip-hop, R&B, and electronic music. His mastery of the vocoder and saxophone added a distinctive texture to the group's sound, contributing to their Grammy-winning album Black Radio in 2012. Beyond this ensemble, Benjamin's versatility shone through collaborations with a diverse array of artists, including Kendrick Lamar, Beyoncé, Q-Tip, and Mary J. Blige. The suddenness of Benjamin's passing served as a stark reminder of the unforeseen challenges that can arise in the modern era, even for those in their prime. His death underscored the importance of health awareness, particularly concerning post-surgical complications like pulmonary thromboembolism. Benjamin's legacy continues to resonate through the recordings and performances he left behind. His work with the Robert Glasper Experiment and other collaborations remain influential, serving as a testament to his creativity and dedication. In commemorating such figures, society often turns to art and literature to encapsulate their essence, ensuring that their contributions are not forgotten. The passing of Casey Benjamin illuminates humanity's intricate relationship with mortality, power, and memory. It highlights the fragility of existence and the profound impact one individual can have on cultural landscapes. Through remembrance and celebration of his work, Benjamin's spirit endures, inspiring future artists to explore and innovate within the ever-evolving tapestry of music. James Cagney, one of Hollywood's most iconic actors, passed away on March 30th, 1986, at the age of 86. His death was due to a heart attack following a long battle with diabetes and other health complications. Cagney, known for his energetic performances and tough guy persona, had retired from acting decades earlier, choosing to live out his later years in relative seclusion on his farm in Stanfordville, New York. His passing marked the end of an era for classic Hollywood cinema, as he had been one of the last surviving stars from the golden age of film. Cagney's death reflected the challenges of aging in an industry that had transformed dramatically since his heyday. The Hollywood of the 1930s and 1940s, when he was at his peak, had been a world of studio contracts, carefully crafted star images, and tightly controlled productions. By the time of his passing, the industry had moved into the blockbuster era, dominated by special effects and high-budget spectacles. Though he had retired in the 1960s, only returning for one final role in Ragtime, his influence on film acting remained strong. The immediate reaction to Cagney's death was an outpouring of tributes from Hollywood and beyond. Fellow actors, critics, and film historians acknowledged his contributions to cinema, particularly his defining performances in gangster films like The Public Enemy and White Heat. His legendary portrayal of anti-heroes and criminals had set the standard for future generations, inspiring actors such as Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. In many ways, Cagney's passing amplified his legend. While he had not been an active presence in Hollywood for years, his death prompted retrospectives of his career, reminding audiences of his versatility beyond the gangster roles. He was also a talented song and dance man, winning an Oscar for Yankee Doodle Dandy, 1942. His legacy was further solidified through film preservation efforts and scholarly works that analyzed his impact on American cinema. Cagney's death also serves as a reflection on the way we remember and commemorate cultural icons. Through film, his performances remain as vivid and influential as ever. His portrayal of complex, often morally ambiguous characters resonates with modern audiences, demonstrating how art can transcend time. He has been immortalized through film retrospectives, books, and even references in popular culture. Ultimately, James Cagney's death reminds us of the enduring power of performance and storytelling. Though he left the world decades ago, his work continues to shape how we perceive cinematic acting. In honoring figures like Cagney, we acknowledge the transformative impact of film on culture and the timeless nature of great storytelling. Bruce Glover, a distinguished character actor renowned for his portrayal of the assassin Mr. Wint in the James Bond film Diamonds Are Forever, 1971, passed away on March 30th, 2025, at the age of 92. His son, actor Crispin Glover, announced the news via Instagram, sharing heartfelt photographs and memories of his father. The cause of death has not been disclosed. Born on May 2, 1932, in Chicago, Illinois, Glover's early life was marked by the economic hardships of the Great Depression. He began working at the tender age of 6 to support his family. After serving in the U.S. Army during the Korean War, Glover's foray into acting commenced somewhat serendipitously when he auditioned for a play upon his return. This decision led to a flourishing career on Broadway, where he was part of the original casts of notable productions such as The Lion in Winter, Mother Courage and Her Children, and The Night of the Iguana. His success on stage eventually paved the way for a transition to film and television. Glover's filmography is diverse, featuring roles in classics like Chinatown and Hard Times. However, it was his depiction of the menacing yet oddly endearing Mr. Wint in Diamonds Are Forever that cemented his place in cinematic history. His portrayal, alongside Putter Smith's Mr. Kidd, introduced audiences to a pair of quirky assassins whose peculiar demeanor added a unique flavor to the Bond villain repertoire. The announcement of Glover's passing elicited an outpouring of tributes from fans and colleagues alike, underscoring the lasting impact of his work. His death serves as a poignant reminder of the transient nature of life and the enduring legacy that artists can leave behind. In an era where the entertainment industry is rapidly evolving, Glover's career reflects the dedication and versatility required to navigate the shifting landscapes of theater and film. Glover's legacy is immortalized through his extensive body of work, which continues to inspire and entertain. His performances are studied in acting classes, his films are celebrated in retrospectives, and his unique characters remain integral to the tapestry of cinematic history. Through these mediums, Bruce Glover's contributions endure, reminding us of the profound connection between art and memory. Ramsay Ames, the striking actress and model, known for her roles in 1940s Hollywood horror films, passed away on March 30th, 1998, at the age of 79. Her death, attributed to natural causes, marked the quiet end of a career that once saw her grace the screen as an alluring femme fatale and an exotic presence in classic Universal horror productions. Though her passing did not generate widespread media coverage, her legacy in cinema endures, particularly among fans of vintage horror and film noir. Ames rose to fame in the 1940s, an era when Hollywood was both an escapist fantasy and a reflection of the anxieties of wartime America. Her most well-known role was as Princess Ananka in The Mummy's Ghost, where she embodied the classic damsel in distress trope that was common in horror films of the period. Hollywood at the time thrived on glamorous stars, often typecasting actresses into specific roles based on their looks, and Ames was no exception. Her career, while relatively brief in comparison to some of her contemporaries, was emblematic of the studio system's approach to stardom, where actors were molded to fit a specific image rather than given long-term opportunities for versatility. Her passing in the late 1990s came at a time when the film industry had long since moved past the era she thrived in, but nostalgia for classic horror and noir had found new life among cinephiles. The immediate consequences of her death were minimal in a public sense, but in a broader cultural context, the continued appreciation of 1940s horror films meant that her work would not be forgotten. If anything, the resurgence of interest in classic universal horror films in the latter half of the 20th century ensured that her contributions remained relevant to dedicated fans of the genre. Ames's death serves as a reminder of Hollywood's ever-evolving nature and the transient nature of fame. Actresses of her era often found their careers dictated by shifting industry trends, and once their moment in the spotlight faded, they were frequently relegated to obscurity. However, memory in the cinematic world is persistent. Film preserves performances long after actors have passed, and Ames's work continues to live on through archives, retrospectives, and home media releases. The legacy of figures like Ramsay Ames is immortalized through ongoing appreciation of the films they starred in, as well as through academic study and fan communities dedicated to classic cinema. Whether through horror film festivals, documentaries, or even modern references to Universal's monster films, Ames remains a part of Hollywood's golden age, a symbol of an era when elegance and mystery defined the silver screen. Kate O'Mara, the British actress best known for her roles in television dramas such as Dynasty and Doctor Who, passed away on March 30th, 2014, at the age of 74. Her death, attributed to ovarian cancer, reflected the universal human struggle against illness, as well as the inevitable passage of time that even the most glamorous stars must face. O'Mara's career was defined by her ability to portray strong, often villainous women, making her a fixture in both British and American television. Though her passing did not cause widespread public mourning, it marked the end of an era for fans of her distinctive screen presence. O'Mara rose to fame in the 1960s and 1970s, an era when television was expanding its reach and influence, especially in Britain. Her early work in Gothic horror films and period dramas capitalized on her striking looks and commanding voice, but it was her television roles that solidified her status. She played the scheming Cassandra Caress Morel in Dynasty, adding to the show's signature mix of wealth, power, and betrayal that defined 1980s television culture. Simultaneously, in Doctor Who, she portrayed the villainous Ronnie, a renegade time lady who stood apart from traditional female characters in science fiction, embodying intelligence and ambition rather than romantic intrigue. Her death came at a time when nostalgia for 1980s television and classic Doctor Who was particularly strong, ensuring that her legacy remained relevant. The immediate consequences of her passing were seen in the tributes from fans and colleagues, recognizing her as a memorable presence in entertainment history. While her death did not shift the trajectory of history, it served as a moment of reflection on the impact of female-driven villainy in pop culture, an archetype she helped shape. O'Mara's death highlights the relationship between mortality and memory, particularly in an industry that thrives on reinvention. While actors may age and pass away, their performances remain timeless, preserved in television archives and streaming services. Her legacy lives on in reruns, fan conventions, and retrospective articles discussing her contributions to television. The enduring appeal of Doctor Who ensures that new generations continue to discover her work, while Dynasty remains a reference point for high-drama television. Through film, television, and cultural discussion, figures like Kate O'Mara are immortalized, proving that even as life ends, the impact of performance and storytelling lingers on. Harold Peary, best known for originating the beloved character of Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve on radio and later television, passed away on March 30th, 1985, at the age of 76. His death, attributed to a heart attack, was a natural passing that reflected the realities of aging, particularly for performers who had witnessed the evolution of entertainment from the golden age of radio to the rise of television. Peary's career spanned a crucial era in American media, and his work helped shape the sitcom format that remains popular today. Peary rose to prominence in the 1930s and 1940s, an era when radio was the dominant form of entertainment in American households. His role as the pompous yet lovable Gildersleeve first emerged on the hit radio program Fibber McGee and Molly, before spinning off into the Great Gildersleeve in 1941, one of the first true sitcoms with an ongoing storyline. His portrayal of the bumbling but well-meaning bachelor turned guardian resonated with audiences during World War II, a time when family structures were shifting due to wartime service and societal changes. Peary's warm comedic style provided comfort and laughter to a nation in flux. By the time of his passing, Peary's legacy had been somewhat overshadowed by the rapid evolution of entertainment. Television had replaced radio as the dominant medium, and the format he helped pioneer had evolved into modern sitcoms. However, his contributions were not forgotten. The immediate response to his death included tributes from fans and historians who recognized his role in shaping radio and television comedy. Although his passing did not alter the course of history, it marked the loss of a key figure from an era that had defined American entertainment. Peary's death serves as a reminder of the transient nature of fame and the ways in which performers are remembered. While newer generations may not recognize his name, his influence is felt in the structure of modern comedic storytelling. His work is preserved through archived radio broadcasts, historical discussions on the evolution of sitcoms, and references in studies of old-time radio. Through nostalgia, academic research, and classic media preservation, Harold Peary remains an enduring figure in entertainment history. His portrayal of Gildersleeve not only brought joy to audiences, but also laid the groundwork for future sitcom characters, ensuring that his impact on comedy and storytelling continues to be felt long after his passing. Bill Withers, the soulful singer-songwriter behind timeless classics like Ain't No Sunshine, Lean on Me, and Lovely Day, passed away on March 30th, 2020, at the age of 81 due to heart complications. His death was a natural one, occurring during a time of global uncertainty as the COVID-19 pandemic reshaped daily life. While Withers had largely retreated from the public eye decades earlier, his passing reignited appreciation for his music and its enduring messages of resilience, love, and solidarity. Withers' music reflected the values and struggles of his era, particularly in the 1970s, when he emerged as a powerful voice in soul and R&B. His songs, often drawn from personal experience, resonated deeply with listeners, tackling themes of loneliness, perseverance, and communal support. Lean on Me, in particular, became an anthem for togetherness, frequently revived during moments of crisis, including the very pandemic that coincided with his passing. His ability to craft deeply human stories in simple, heartfelt melodies was a reflection of his background. Having worked blue-collar jobs before pursuing music, Withers carried an authenticity that set him apart from more commercialized artists. The immediate response to his death was an outpouring of tributes from fellow musicians, fans, and cultural commentators who recognized his profound influence. Artists across genres, from Stevie Wonder to John Legend, celebrated his impact, and his music saw a resurgence in streams and radio play. The timing of his passing, at the height of a global health crisis, further amplified the relevance of his work, as many turned to lean on me for comfort and unity during lockdowns. Withers' death, while not tragic in a conventional sense, underscored the fleeting nature of time and the power of an artist's legacy. Unlike many musicians who chase fame, Withers famously walked away from the industry in the mid-1880s, choosing a life of privacy over the pressures of stardom. Yet his departure from the limelight did nothing to diminish his influence. His work is immortalized through continuous reinterpretation in film, television, and social movements. Ultimately, Withers' passing reaffirms that true artistry transcends time. His songs remain woven into the cultural fabric, reminding us that music, like memory, has the power to comfort, unite, and endure. Through tributes, covers, and the continued relevance of his lyrics, Bill Withers remains not just a voice of his time, but of all time. Mitch Hedberg, the beloved stand-up comedian known for his surreal, deadpan delivery and clever one-liners, died on March 29, 2005, at the age of 37. His cause of death was a drug overdose, reportedly involving a mix of heroin and cocaine. His passing was both tragic and reflective of the challenges he faced throughout his career, particularly his struggles with addiction, anxiety, and the pressures of fame in the entertainment industry. Hedberg's comedy was unique, built on absurd yet profound observations about everyday life. His delivery, often marked by nervous energy and self-awareness, endeared him to audiences who saw him as an outsider in an industry that often rewarded conventional humor. He gained a cult following through performances on Late Night with David Letterman and Comedy Central presence. Yet he remained uncomfortable with fame, frequently addressing his own nervousness on stage. His struggles with substance abuse were well known, and he even joked about them in his routines, blurring the line between comedy and personal struggle. The immediate reaction to Hedberg's death was an overwhelming sense of loss in the comedy community. Fellow comedians and fans mourned not just the man, but the creative brilliance he brought to the craft. His passing came at a time when alternative comedy was gaining traction, and many saw him as an artist who had yet to reach his full potential. The loss of his unique voice left a void in stand-up, one that comedians like Demetri Martin and John Mulaney later acknowledged as influential to their styles. Bill Maynard, the British actor best known for his role as Claude Greengrass in the long-running television series Heartbeat, passed away on March 30th, 2018, at the age of 89. His death was due to complications from a fall, marking the end of a career that spanned over 6 decades. Maynard's passing was a reminder of the shifting landscape of British entertainment, as he was one of the few remaining links to a golden era of television and comedy. Maynard, born Walter Frederick George Williams, built a career that reflected the evolving tastes of British audiences. He first gained recognition as a comedian in the 1950s before transitioning to television and film. His rugged charm and down-to-earth persona made him a beloved figure, particularly in roles that celebrated working-class life. His portrayal of Claude Greengrass, a lovable rogue in Heartbeat, cemented his legacy, making him a household name across the UK. The immediate reaction to his death was one of deep nostalgia. Fans and fellow actors paid tribute to his contributions to British entertainment, recognizing him as a performer who brought warmth and humor to audiences. His passing marked the end of an era for Heartbeat viewers, as his character had been one of the most recognizable faces of the show's early success. Though Maynard had largely stepped away from acting in his later years, his influence remained strong, particularly in regional television and nostalgic retrospectives on classic British TV. Maynard's death also highlighted the way television preserves legacies. While many entertainers fade from public memory, his work in Heartbeat and other shows ensured that he would remain a familiar presence for future generations. British television, especially in the mid to late 20th century, was shaped by performers like Maynard, who brought authenticity and humor to the screen. His career, spanning comedy, drama, and even music, showcased the versatility required of actors in a rapidly changing industry. In the broader sense, Maynard's passing reminds us of the role entertainment plays in shaping cultural memory. Figures like him are immortalized not just through reruns and tributes, but also in the collective nostalgia of audiences who grew up watching them. Through his work, Maynard remains a cherished figure, a reminder of a time when television was simpler, humor was heartwarming, and characters like Claude Greengrass brought joy to millions. Gary Morton, the American comedian, producer, and second husband of Lucille Ball, passed away on March 30th, 1999, at the age of 74. His death was attributed to lung cancer, a disease that claimed many of his generation, particularly those who had lived through an era when smoking was a common habit in the entertainment industry. Morton's passing not only marked the loss of a respected figure in Hollywood, but also reinforced the shifting entertainment landscape as television's golden age faded further into history. Morton was best known for his work behind the scenes, particularly as a producer for Here's Lucy in Life with Lucy, two television series starring his legendary wife, Lucille Ball. While he had begun his career as a stand-up comedian, his marriage to Ball in 1961 led him to transition into production, where he played a key role in managing her later career. His death symbolized the end of an era for classic television, as he had been one of the last direct links to Ball's later work, ensuring her business affairs and legacy remained strong after the groundbreaking success of I Love Lucy. The immediate consequences of Morton's death were personal rather than widely publicized. Unlike Ball, whose death in 1989 had been a major cultural moment, Morton's passing was noted primarily by industry insiders and those close to his and Ball's production company, Desilu. However, his death highlighted an important aspect of Hollywood's history, the often overlooked figures who worked behind the scenes to shape the careers of legendary entertainers. While never a major celebrity himself, Morton played a crucial role in maintaining and extending Ball's presence on television. His passing also raised reflections on the evolving nature of television production. The era in which Morton worked, one defined by multi-camera sitcoms, laugh tracks, and the enduring power of comedic icons, was giving way to a new age of entertainment by the late 1990s. The sitcom landscape had changed dramatically from Ball's heyday with the emergence of single-camera formats and edgier humor. Morton's death served as a quiet farewell to a style of television that had shaped American households for decades.